Hello, friends. October 17th on the calendar. Another weekly market review. Let's begin. Here's a great reversal pattern on the weekly chart. The volumes here are decent. Look how sweet everything is. I just shorted it. Well, I shorted it, and I've set a stop. You can see the stop on your screens. Here's the number, and here's my entry. Here's the volume. Here's the take profit. There you go. Take it. Use it if you need to. But it's not individual investment advice, of course. It's currently down 23 bucks for me. I've taken it out here. All right, next up. Texas TXN plus $221. Here's my entry, here's my stop. More precisely. Here's the entry, yes, and here's the stop. So the stop is already in profit. All right, the target here is, at least down to 160. For now, at least. Just a good move, a good slide, a strong profile, and many other interesting things here. So here's the short. Let's move on. I entered McDonald's. I don't think I told you about McDonald's, did I? I think so. I entered McDonald's. Here's the entry. 15 shares, about $4,500. Well, my average entry for the entire position is about $5,000. Here's the stop. Everything truly depends on the stop size, of course. There's also divergence here, and something like a head and shoulders pattern is forming. Look at this. It hasn't broken yet. It's formed a triple top here, but it's basically a head and shoulders pattern. The projected base is right here, clearly visible. But I'm entering this trade preemptively indeed, quite preemptively, so that's precisely how this situation is unfolding. Here's the exact entry point actually, and here's the definitive stop loss. I'll close the position at the base, then on a bounce. Well, my plan is like this. We'll go down like this, correcting to the very middle, and then I can go short again. Well, something like that perhaps. But for now, it is a short from here. So this is a new position. What else? Booking, you know about it. It's currently down 25 bucks. Yes, it's moving now. Booking, you know about it. I've lowered the stop even further. So it's currently up 9.99% plus 556 bucks at the moment. Here's my stop. So the stop is already in good profit. So my positions are not threatened, not at all. It just barely missed the take profit. Look, the take profits have loaded. Here's one lot, well, one share actually. Potential profit, well, around 300 bucks, just under 300 bucks, even if it closes by stop loss. The current one is like this, and it just barely missed the take profit. Well, I hope it reaches, we'll see. So booking is currently the most interesting in my portfolio among shorts. Mastercard is also a new position. Look how many new positions I'll tell you about today. Well, plus $2 in short at the entry point. I am currently at the entry point. The stop was originally here, so the position is insignificant, 7 shares. The stop was far. After the necessary structure formed, I entered on Wednesday. The arrow here shows exactly where I entered. That's it. Oh, and here's another one. Look, 2. That was an addition. A top-up. Yes, yes, yes. Average entry. Here's 1 and 2. 1 and 2. Right. So, well, that's it. No, there's also Chevron. We're just going through my portfolio as an overview now. Here, it's plus 10 bucks. So you could say it's also at the entry point. I've already tightened the stop to break even here. Look at the stop. The two lines are the same. Well, minus commission, it will be exactly 0. So the stop loss is slightly in profit. And for Chevron, you know my position, T-Mobile. Yes, here it's minus 8 bucks. Well, actually, it might be less now, but that's not the point. Here, the stop is still far, and the position is very small. Look, I have an alert here. For what? To short more if we come into this zone. Because this zone is currently attracting a bounce, so to speak. It attracts a bounce. Such a bounce should happen, in theory. Well, if it doesn't happen, I'll ride this volume down. And if it does, I'll add to my position here, just like with, who was it? TXN, right? Right, Mastercard to be precise. Bitcoin. So Friends, everything is according to plan. False breakout. Aggressive, conservative, moderate, matrix robots are all making money. I don't know what to add. This just looks like bragging, but it's simply a statement of fact. All the links are in the description. Check them out. What's next? My plan was 100. Well, almost 100 has materialized, right? Almost 100. From this liquidity zone, as I said in the previous review, we will go here with a high probability. Watch the previous review when we were still here because this liquidity needs to be captured. We captured it. What usually happens after that? We see large volumes. Most likely there will be some kind of pullback. There's nothing special about this. Right. Well, towards 100, 96 is marked for me. There's a big fat profile here. Look, the probability of us coming here is high. But I don't think that's all. I just don't want to shock you with my plans yet. But based on the divergences that have been brewing here for quite a while, we should actually go to 75 here. But let's avoid shock therapy and talk about 96. That will be support. And from there, there will be a bounce if we come down here like this, like that. And then maybe a big bounce. Then we'll build new structures. I'll create new robots for this. I'll launch them. So, well, that's all. BNB, by the way, went into profit. Thank God. So here, there was a fierce divergence right here. I launched a short robot here. It withstood this gigantic drawdown and is already in profit. So it was averaging the short. Now it's in profit. Well, I think I'll close it around 800. Currently, the average entry price is 1156. So I exited right here. And I'll probably turn it off at 800, well, below 900. Because specifically this component, there are robots that trade long and two from short. Bitcoin was from short and BNB from short. But here, I certainly got stuck badly. I was already very scared. But it held up because I distributed the risks, well, as it turned out correctly. Plus this powerful drop across all currencies, all coins. When 2 million traders were liquidated, we profited from it. That's super. After all, experience, it's probably even hard to rush. So, proper risk management. And my drawdown for this matrix robot was around, at most, I think, 25%. At the moment of that dump, it was 7.5% exactly at that moment on that day, right? And then when BNB continued to rise, it became really scary, but I didn't do anything. Everything was according to the strategy. This maximum, when it was taken out, here, yes, here it was still averaging down. This movement, it no longer, the volume wasn't enough because it turned off at 1266. This part, it was no longer accumulating positions. Well, anyone who is a subscriber for auto following on Bybit, they can see all of that. Oil is approaching the lower boundary. This gap was closed, which I mentioned on Monday, right? Well, on Friday, more precisely, we saw this movement. And on Monday with Yaroslav, we discussed that this gap would most likely be closed because the impulse is strong. On the weekly chart, the lows haven't been updated yet, but volumes are growing. Volumes are growing. That's important to understand. We might even touch the lows, but that doesn't interest me at all. Well, I won't be shorting, as I said here. I wouldn't short because, well, this fact of increasing volumes indicates that it will all reverse soon. Just like with silver, which we'll get to now, increasing volumes indicate that it's simply all a matter of time until it reverses. So, I'm long, but not right now. I don't have a position, as I've been saying for many broadcasts in a row. No position, but I'm not considering shorting oil because, in my opinion, the weekly movement, the correction, it's all over. And there's only one way here, above 90. The question is when. And when no one is rushing anywhere, we'll wait, buy, and everything will be fine. Next, gas. Well, gas. The gas shorts brought in money, just like the EU or USD shorts, which we'll get to. I entered shorts right here, as I said. First I entered here, then closed with a stop here. Here I re-entered after the engulfing pattern, and now I've moved my stop to Thursday's high. On the original quotes, the stop was already hit, but on my MOEX futures, not yet. On the MOEX index futures, well, I think it's a matter of time. The stop will be hit, and, well, my profit will be like this. So what's next? Does it look like a reversal or not? Well, these moments kind of, I don't like them generally, right? When I set an alert and it just barely misses it, I drew this area on the previous Friday's review, and well, it just barely didn't reach it. Just touched the channel and this support, and then I would consider it a long position. Almost everything from current levels, well, I would buy right now. Because intraday, everything looks beautiful, long. If it closes like this, at least like this, that would be good too. Well, that's very good for a reversal. Therefore, I might still buy on Monday, because right now I'm not ready to buy. It didn't reach, I'll see how it opens on Monday. But generally, gas looks long. If anyone was in shorts, then close them, or set a stop like me there, at the high, at this same high. But for the MOEX futures. So. Next, silver. Well, look. This looks very much like a reversal. Very much so. A powerful engulfing candle after new highs first. That's how long movements usually end. For those who wanted to catch the last train, they got in right here at the very highs. Well, beginners usually do that. So, I see this, but I'm not rushing yet, because you should never rush in the market. Just like now we'll get to the Moscow exchange, to the index. There too, in my opinion, everything is clear, and there's no need to rush. Everything is going according to plan there. So, how might this situation play out? Here we see a powerful engulfing candle. People might rush in, thinking everything will fly without them, but I'm convinced it won't. Let's open Nasdaq, anyone, and see. There was a similar candle. By the way, do you think American indices can be a leading indicator for gold and silver? Let's take a look. I expect roughly the same for the index, for silver, and for gold. Let me hide this like so, like this. So right now we see this candle, and I'm expecting a combination like this next week. And when I see this reversal combination intraday with volumes, like here on Nasdaq, then I'll short silver and gold. But now I can't, according to my strategy. You can, if you really want to. Play with unrestrained risks, then go ahead. I don't play that game. I wanted to show the long term. Yes. I also want to mark a support level for myself here. Look, I've already drawn everything here. Why go far? Look how I hit the third wave. When did I draw this? In one of the reviews. Here's the third wave, here's the fourth. But the fourth wave, in terms of time, should be somewhere here. Well, roughly like that, yes. Well, the third wave is somewhere, yes, somewhere here. So if this is the third wave, then attention, there will be a fifth one. Why did I draw it so far? Well, okay. I drew it as I drew it. I won't change it. So the third, the fourth, and the fifth, these are the ones we are focusing on. High or not high, I don't know, we'll see. But a correction in the third wave can be like 30% of the entire movement. If we assume it's finished, it's quite possible that's the case. Perhaps there wasn't even a fifth wave within the third itself, no fifth. That will be very interesting to observe. Well, in any case, the fourth should be within the third itself, right? Well then, by the way, the time interval might also be correctly indicated. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. So, there. Let's figure it out now. Well, in general, you should understand the essence I want to convey here. If it goes like this, like this, like this, like this, and like this. So, everything could be like this, and then down to 40. Interesting, right? It would be interesting to see that. But let's return to the daily chart. After all, ours is speculative. Friday is speculative. For now, this is an impulse on good volumes, with increasing, mind you, volumes. That's what I was talking about, right? Volumes are growing. Volumes are growing during the rise. This means the end of this growth is near, and also during a fall. Prices fall, volumes grow. So that means it's the end. For oil, they are just starting to increase. This is not a reason to buy, and there are no reversals, no need to rush. So let's move on. Gold. The same situation for gold. So a great reversal daily candle. Also with a tail on top, which is very good. Everything is the same as for silver. I won't dwell on it for long. I've characterized, noted the nearest support here at 4,100. That's it. I'll wait for the same thing to take any actions, decisions. You need to never chase what's flying away. So, look at the volumes for gold. Attention. What do you think? Write in the comments what you think, because this is very interesting. Such volumes at highs are a super factor for making decisions. So that's precisely why I am very, very, very much ready to go next week. I anticipate this will probably be sometime around Tuesday or Wednesday. I will be carefully observing and considering shorting gold. Well, of course, there will be comprehensive and detailed information about this particular development available in the Telegram channel for everyone to review. So, moving on to the next topic, Euro dollar. Well, here a great trade turned out. I had a short from here, then I moved the stop here, then moved it here. All of this was live, well, in the live channel. Here I told you. In fact, what, where, and how I move it, and then I moved the stop right here. I'll explain why. Here was a beautiful double bottom. I didn't participate in longs, but I closed at the stop here. So from here to somewhere here is my profit. So look closely, here's the clearly defined double bottom. How truly wonderful and impressive. And observe how clearly and precisely it's executed. Ta-da! Here's its absolute maximum point. That's it. Precisely. Great, isn't it? Many people claim that technical analysis doesn't actually work. Now, I absolutely need to re-enter this position. Because the comprehensive plans for USD, I have significantly deeper, more extensive, and much more distant ones in mind. So the euro dollar, right? The target is way over there at 1.11. I've been saying this since way back here and continue to say it here, that there's divergence, that it's all a false move, and that it needs to fall. So far, everything is going according to plan. Re-entering, ideally, is possible right now. To be honest, the reversal candle is excellent. We hit the volume profile. Well, it seems everything is good. But I'm not entering this trade just yet. I want to patiently wait for a much better and more favorable risk-to-reward ratio, in short, before making any moves. For that specific reason, I'll set a precise alert right here at this level. We'll very likely touch the main body of this particular candle on Monday, which is the next trading day. 1.186, and from there I'll observe. I might short it. Plus, I didn't quite get enough volume, to be honest, because these volumes are more classic standard. If we open the hourly chart, then we'll understand that here, yes, there were some increased volumes at the highs, but still, they weren't very pronounced, you see. Therefore, shorting is necessary, and I definitely will. Even if I miss it and we somehow go down here, then my entry might be at the same volume in the place where I closed, right here. So, in theory, I'm not missing anything yet. Well, and if there are some candles like these, then a return to this candle later is also highly probable. Then I'll try to enter again here if I don't manage to enter here. Anyway, you understood my point, right? That with gas, with gold, with silver, with the euro dollar, everything is according to the forecast here. I'm not changing anything yet. So regarding new positions, I've opened a short on Nasdaq and a short on S&P via futures on the Moscow exchange. This is possible. It appeared yesterday. So I'm currently at the entry point, or rather, we are currently at the entry point. If there's a desire, by no means is this individual investment advice. But if there is, then I've entered, the stop, of course, is here, even lower, I think, right here at Wednesday's high. So I don't know what to add here. There's just a good, strong impulse. There's a pullback. The impulse, let me remind you, isn't just from anywhere, but with a powerful divergence. We broke out of the channel. Now we need to break out of this channel by at least the same distance, and that's the 14,000 level. Therefore, it's not a given, of course, that this reversal, well, that I just went short, that this is it, that I jumped in right at the highs. Of course, it's not a given, but as an attempt to use such a reversal weekly candle on volumes, I think it's possible. So I entered. I'm relaying this to you. The stop is very tight. Always set stops. Again, I know people who have been stuck in shorts on the American market for several years now. So because it's in divergence. And you see the divergence is growing, growing, growing. Therefore, no, let's put the channel back. That was a good test. So, if the ideal situation, by the way, here's another surprise for you. The ideal situation is if today's trading day for S&P and Nasdaq closes in the negative zone. Any minus 0.01% would suffice. If it closes in any negative zone, that would be such a powerful reinforcement for a short position. Well, if you even consider such a thought, then it would be a reinforcement. Because I'm recording this a bit early, the market will still trade. And such a close, it's neutral, as if it's saying that we might still linger here. But if it closes in the negative zone, well, we might either consolidate or, of course, continue to grow further. The probability of that is higher. The probability of a trend break is 20%. The probability of continuation is probably 80%. Well, that's the classic definition. So here's a task for you. If you want a more reliable signal, wait until the end of today's trading day. And if it closes roughly like this, or even with a significant rise, then maybe it's not worth shorting. And I'll rush. And you know how I love to rush. Yes, well, for S&P, the upper boundary of the channel is also a great reason to try. Plus, the reversal candle is excellent. We absorbed the previous candle. Well, there's nothing to latch onto here. Plus, after that, we consolidated nicely, traded intraday. Intraday, we drew a reversal. This entire divergence zone, let me remind you, is local. And plus, this is the entire global divergence. Well, in short, here you just need to, with small risks, try to enter with a good volume. Well, if possible, By if possible, I mean the deposit. Too short. Well, that's my plan. And that's it. I'm broadcasting it. I've told you everything I know. Write in the comments whether you liked it or not. Have a great weekend, everyone. Excellent mood. Take care. Bye.